The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome to the bonus show. It's going to be a slightly different bonus show today. You may have noticed that Pat was not on the regular show today. We have a massive snowstorm, which as I look out our window towards downtown Boston, is very, very quickly escalating. So Pat did not come into the studio today. Yesterday, we knew that there was going to be bigly tremendous snow today. And Pat lives significantly further from the studio than I do. And Pat's road is also much later to be plowed than where I live. So what we decided was I would come into the studio earlier than normal and get today's show recorded and produced and handle most of the editing. And then we have a system for remote access into our editing computer. Pat did our pre-production from home and then is going to take over the distribution of the show. And because we came in early, even though Pat's working remotely, which makes it's a little difficult to do multi-monitor editing and processes remotely. But so even though it'll take longer, it should not affect when you will get the program today. So that's how we handle today. And hopefully I'll be able to get out before it's too bad. I read at some point it could be snowing 2 to 4 inches per hour, which explains a lot because I saw that by 5 p.m. today, it's going to switch to rain here in Boston. The temperature's going to go up a little bit. And I thought, well, if it's only going to snow from about 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., how could we get the 14 to 18 inches of snow that are predicted? And it's because at some point it is going to be snowing 2 to 4 inches. And fortunately, because I live close enough, I said to Pat, even if I have to just inch along the road at 5 miles per hour, it's still not going to take me that long to get home. And Pat has also said before, by the way, he's not that comfortable driving in snow. Not that I love it, but I've been doing it for a while, and you just go really, really slow and anticipate other drivers being out of control. That's sort of my thing. So we do not have a regular bonus show today. We are going to compress the entire production day to get things done. I do want to follow up and restate. I talked at the end of the regular show today instead of playing a voicemail. We've got a new position at the David Pakman Show that is at least initially going to be a part-time position, and I want to tell everybody in our audience, our members' audience, about it as well. This is to be super clear because I will always get emails from people saying, well, could I work remotely? I live in California, but I want the job. This is a position that is in our Boston studio, okay? It's a part-time marketing, social media, and advertiser outreach position. So a typical day for the person in this position would be coming in, ideally would have some graphic design skills to be able to put together some visual meme quote type content based on the previous show and get that distributed on social media. It would include engaging with other newsmakers and influencers on social media around our content. Then you might move on to advertiser outreach, where we might be working together on identifying companies that ideologically would be potentially good fits to advertise on the David Pakman Show. You would be doing initial outreach to those companies, and ideally, as the process moves forward, some of those companies would be interested in becoming advertisers on the show, and you would also handle the financial proposals and working up of scripts for ads, etc. You would handle that whole process start to finish. It would also include sort of thinking outside the box, guerrilla marketing, working on live events potentially for the show, developing a promotion where we might have, I don't know, like a studio taping, a taping of the show in front of a live audience. And we might figure out, well, what's a way that we could promote the show and also give this opportunity for people to come into the studio and watch a taping of the show. Again, some of the things that you would be working on. The key skills here are marketing experience of some kind and creative outside of the box thinking, comfort working independently, and attention to detail such that you would be able to sort of independently know that all outgoing communications professionally and accurately represent the program. Also, basic tech skills, so basic graphic abilities, basic video editing abilities would be great in case you were working on promo videos or working up something for a potential advertiser, etc. This is really, it's a new position, which is hugely exciting because the show is expanding. So the definition of it is a little bit amorphous, but I've told you at least some of the elements that will be part of this position and really important. Again, the schedule will be, initially, it's a part-time position. Our production schedule in studio is Monday to Thursday during business hours. So we would figure out a schedule that would probably be 3 days, maybe 4 shorter days or 3 slightly longer days in our studio that overlap with when we are doing production here, okay? So again, you've got to be in studio, and it would be business hours, overlap with business hours, partial business hours on a minimum of 3, maybe 4 of those days, Monday through Thursday. So if you're interested in applying, send in both a resume and a cover letter, and the cover letter should address how the experience on the resume would relate to the position. If you have specific ideas of ways in which you think that we could successfully carry out some of the tasks I mentioned that would be part of this job's responsibilities, by all means include that, and include sort of your history or relationship to progressive media and the David Pakman Show. Obviously, in addition to the fact that you're a member, because I am talking about this on the bonus show. So very exciting. The start date for this position would probably be, it's sort of flexible. You know, we're in mid-March. Ideally, this is a position that would start no later than mid-April. And for the right person, you know, that could be moved up or moved back depending on prior commitments and that type of thing. So I'm going to keep the bonus show short today. I've got to get right into editing so I can turn things over to Pat and get out. And even just during the time I've been talking to you on the bonus show, the snow is very, very quickly accelerating. So wish me luck getting home. I think they should have this mostly cleaned up by tomorrow, and we should be back to the normal schedule, et cetera, et cetera. Thanks to all the continued new paid subscribers, including everybody that signed up over the weekend and over the last 24 hours. Thank you, thank you. It's because of that that we are able to even create this new position, which will allow the show to get even better and grow even further, which will be really, really great for the people that have chosen to support us. So thank you, and we'll be back to the normal schedule tomorrow.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.